Joy, good morning to you. This is Newsline, live as always from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And once in a way, the timing's out of sync as it happened just now. Do forgive us. But this morning, to discuss leadership, which seems to be in some deep crisis in Sri Lanka, we have with us Mr. Maitri Gunaratne, who actually needs no introduction. So, Joy, good morning to you.
Thanks, Faraz. Thanks for having me back.
You're very welcome indeed, and it's good to have you here. And as we discuss, as you know, Sri Lankans, we're all in love with politics, but not necessarily with politicians. Now, you've formed yourself a party, the United National Freedom Front.
That's right.
What has prompted you? You've always been a UNP man, so it's no good you trying to depart from any, even though you're wearing blue shirt today, because people will forever and a day associate you with being with the UNP.
That's right.
Why did you form this party?
For us, from maybe 2000, we were trying to bring it to the notice of Mr. Ranil Wickramasinghe that he must change.
Yeah.
And that was not forthcoming. Then I think you will recollect the UNP leadership itself appointed a committee called the Panditaratna Committee.
Indeed.
And the Panditaratna Committee was appointed in 2004, just before the 2005 presidential election.
Indeed.
Because even at that time, there were a few of us in the UNP who told that, you know, there has to be a change in the way the party leader acts. And the commission was appointed and the report was given in 2004, I think in September or something like that. Now, in that report, it was very clearly stated the weaknesses of the party leadership. It was, if you turn any page of the report and read, all pages spoke about the weaknesses of the party leader and the shortcomings. Yes,
and it was replicated from all the districts.
It was a full report where the commission went, or the committee went to every district and got information from all the districts, and only they made this, and it was a 24-member committee.
Indeed.
Even in today's context, even Prime Minister's advisor Dinesh Veerakkody also was in that committee. He was apparently advisor of the Prime Minister. So in that report, it was very categorically stated that he has many weaknesses, and if he does not change, it will lead to catastrophe. The word used was the party, and if it doesn't change, it will lead to catastrophe, which we can see today. So this was given in 2004.
Yes.
Then in 2009 again, there was another committee which was appointed called the R.S. Jayaratne Committee.
Right.
Now in that committee, that said that the party leadership should have been changed long before. So now these were two instances where two independent commissions or committees gave reports, and they were appointed by none other than Ranil Wickramasinghe himself.
Right.
So now I don't think the Panditaratna Commission ever saw the light of day. That report was never submitted. R.S. Jayaratne report also was never submitted, tabled. No one, I mean, the party membership could not have got it.
Now, I'll tell you what we'll do, Maitri. Let's put that on a website. And so that anyone who wants to read it, who are interested, can read it. Let's do that. We'll announce to you. This is. I'm sure there are people who already done it. Actually, somebody was telling me about it, but I'll let the public know about it soon. But Maitri, let me just read to you, and it was shocking because this is the first part that I read when a concerned member of the UNP, a long-time supporter of the UNP, delivered it to the office, delivered it to me. And it was in a white envelope, and then I got a call and said, please read what I've sent you. And I rushed down to get this thing, and I read it, and this is the first bit that I read. The leader should be more firm with those suspected of indiscipline and corrupt acts. Do you know, my hair stood up because I thought this was written last week.
Yeah.
Until I realized it was written nearly 14 years ago. So the problem was there then.
Oh yes.
And then it went on and on and on. There are actually 68 plus 4, 72 points which you can relate to Ranil Wickremesinghe in that report. And another one, it says, be more receptive to suggestions, make himself more accessible to others, present himself as a national leader concerned about the religious and cultural traditions of the country.
Precisely.
And then it goes on and on and on to 68 other points.
First, I must answer a question. So now 2004 it was the Pandit Ratna report, 2009 the RS Ratna report, then 2010 we lost the presidential election, we lost the parliamentary election. Right? It was in 2010 that I went and said, sir, why don't you step down? I mean,
you met him?
I met him personally.
Right.
I met him personally. I don't believe in backstabbing Faraz. I went and met him personally. For 45 minutes we had a discussion.
Right.
He was arguing with me as to why he should stay.
And what did he say, Maitri? What did he say?
No, he said he's always working on these figures. No, we can get this amount. This is not a big amount to get the percentages.
Yeah.
Now every time we lose by 5% or 10% or whatever, the percentages. So he thinks that these percentages can be easily won over, but he doesn't realize that his presence is the one which is shunning away these percentages away from the UNP.
Why doesn't he realize that?
I suppose he's very, very greedy to be in power.
Or is it that as well, but coupled with the fact that he is sort of insular? He's there in the middle, and he's got this team, his club, behind him, around him.
So all that comes with that now.
And therefore he is insulated.
Oh, definitely. No, that is now greedy for power is because when he's in power, that insulation comes with it.
Right.
It's part and parcel of that.
Right.
So the moment he's taken out of power, this whole insulation falls apart.
Right.
So at any cost, he will ensure that he is in power. And even the working committee for us, I mean, look at the people he has put into the working committee. None of them talk. If you talk, you're out. The working committee, if you voice an idea which is against the party leadership, at the next working committee or the next time election is due, you will not be elected. Which
is why Mr. Pandiratna's report says, be more receptive to suggestions.
So at least the working committee, you don't have to listen to X, Z and Y. But if you have a 50-member working committee or I think the UNP working committee 90 members.
Right.
If there's a 90-member working committee coming from all parts of the country, all walks of life, the idea is for the party leader or the leadership to accept any kind of idea and see what is happening. Right now, for instance, even the candy incident. If the working committee was proactive, they would have known that this was coming 2-3 weeks ago.
Right.
Because people in Kandy knew that this was going to happen. Right. And then the party could have been getting ready for that.
Right.
But unfortunately for us, the Prime Minister was the Minister of Law and Order, and they took almost a week to get this situation under control. Right. So I mean, it only goes to show that they're divorced from reality. They are absolutely divorced from reality. That's why we are losing. And now I was not in the working committee. We had no place in the UNP to voice our grievances and our problems. So we voiced it openly to the media and outside. Then we were sacked from the party. And then when we were sacked, I mean, we had to go forward. We had to take this political struggle forward. Then we were denied. None of our people were given nominations. So then that is why we formed the United National Freedom Front. And even then we are trying to still sail very close with the UNP, United National Freedom Front.
Yeah.
Right? So
Your heart is actually out there.
no, because we feel that the UNP is a party which has always got together, brought all communities together. It is a party which has done most amount of development to the poorest areas of this country.
Apparently, they've given written letters expressing their support to the leader.
This is, I mean, if it has happened,
Yeah.
I can't believe it. But I am told, for us, even after this present fiasco, after this present defeat on February 10th,
Complete drubbing.
Now, even after that, there has been a few members of parliament who have been asked to give some suggestions.
Right.
And even in that report or those suggestions, it has been categorically stated that the leader should step down. But unfortunately, none of these are going to see the light of day.
They won't.
They won't.
But don't these people realize, the young ones who've either been forced or out of misplaced loyalty, displaced loyalty, provided these things in writing even, or let's say even if it's not in writing, that they support the leader, don't they realize that there is no future for them in this party? The party, you can't get it any worse than that.
Yeah, I suppose, for us, you may be correct. You may be correct, because with this leadership, I don't think most of these people can get re-elected, and especially if they change the electoral system. Now, the local government was changed, and mind you, I have told in this program, 80% of the faces will change after the local government election, which has happened.
Right.
Now, you go in for the provincial council under the new system, for us, 90% of the provincial council, the faces will change.
Right.
And if you change it for the parliament elections, 90% of these 225 will lose their jobs. So that is where...
That's how serious.
That is how serious it is. That is the amount of hatred or dislike the people have with their representatives. They have no choice.
Right.
There is no choice. So, come a parliamentary election, and if these people come under the new system, none of these people are going to be elected.
But, nothing ever changes really. The leader of the UNP is very good at appointing committees.
Yeah. That is.
I think committees were invented by him almost.
Here, and I think this is contagious, this committee, because the president also has got it now. He's also appointing commissions for everything.
Oh, he's got on commission.
So it's contagious.
But at least commissions have got a bit of bite.
A bit of bite, and they have come out with some kind of
the
results,
the bond
and all. But point is, people are wanting action.
But look, just imagine the plight of the UNP, Maitri. Now, if you look at the bond, the complete lack of inaction resulted in this bond.
Yes.
And that inaction was purely and simply on the part of the one man.
Yeah.
Ranil Wickremesinghe, the man in charge of the central bank. He could have just, snipped it there by merely calling the company registrar and asking him to explain to him who was inside that company and so on and so forth. But that simple act was not done, and it was not done because the Commission of Inquiry said mala fide, that was the behavior of Arjuna Mahendran, to the benefit of perpetual treasuries. But actually, when you examine the bigger picture, the inaction on the part of the minister, in this case Ranil Wickremesinghe, was to cover up, was to support his friends. All his henchmen around him are making money and abusing the due process.
For us, I would go one step further. Now, generally, the central bank comes under the central bank comes under the Ministry of Finance, right? But out of design, the central bank was taken away from the Ministry of Finance and taken under the purview of the Prime Minister. Then the EPF, the ETF, the Insurance Trust Fund, all the funds which had money, billions and billions of people's money, deposited in trust funds and trusts, were taken under the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm saying is this whole operation had a sense of premeditation. When they allocated the subjects, when they allocated the ministries, right, they were all getting ready for a massive robbery. Because otherwise, you don't do this untraditional exchanges of portfolios and subjects, for us.
That's true, that's true. And you know, the sad part of this is, there are several people like this, but I certainly know one person who actually still likes Ranil Wickremesinghe, but who walked away depressed at the way the UNP is going, and it is being at the way the UNP is being destroyed by Ranil's henchmen.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
And there will be many, many more like that. But I know one who's passionate about UNP. UNP and passion is one. But they walked away absolutely depressed at what's happening to that party, and how it is Ranil's henchmen who are destroying that party. Unelected people are being brought in, purely and simply because of their friendship, their association, their membership of their closed little club. You know, that's fine, you have your closed little club, do you go on? But not at the expense of the party, and certainly not at the expense of the country.
On the contrary, what I'm saying is, for us, the larger picture is now UNP being the single largest political party. In a democracy, it plays a huge role for us, right? And for a democracy to be vibrant, the political parties have to be strong and capable of bringing a fight against the government in power, right? So by Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe's actions and his club of people around him, right, what they are doing is they are bringing democracy itself into peril by being so selfish. So this behavior will continue. And I feel I have my doubts for us that even the no confidence motion will come through, because I know there is large amounts of money in their possession. They are throwing large amounts of money to the members in the UNP, and I mean, if each of those members of parliament are offered a good package, I can't see why they are not going to support it.
On that note, we'll go for a short break, and we'll be back on the other side of that break. Don't go away. This is Newsline.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz, Shauketaly.
And welcome back to Newsline, where we're discussing leadership with Mr. Maitri Gunaratne. Can I just read another thing to you here? Lack of sensitivity to common problems and needs. This is going back a long time back. We read something. It talked about Asperger's syndrome. He's so insulated that it just... what's the problem? Come on. He's also a normal human being. And why can't these members, the working committee and so on, I know that they owe a sense of loyalty because they've been appointed there by him. But once there, surely the greater interests of the party, and therefore then the country.
No, it doesn't work that way for us. The members of the working committee are all members who are under him, who are expecting some kind of position from him. And when you're Prime Minister, there are a lot of perks and privileges you can throw at them. So most of them are expecting that, and they are not going to rock the boat.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. Imtiaz Baqir Marka was a star at the UNP. And it appears to me, and I have not spoken to him in several years about any of this, but it seems to me that he quietly extricated himself from the party, and he's there.
How many
others like him?
Thousands and thousands of others have distanced themselves from the UNP and are just waiting and watching. I mean, we were the only few, I think very few, who took the fight. And for us, I mean, I was a provincial council member under the UNP for 15 years. I had made a huge investment in the sense of time, money and effort to come to that place. But I mean, I did it, Shiral Laktilaka, who was with me, we did it for the purpose of, bringing this party back to its former glory. Right? And to the extent that we were denied nomination in 2014 and 2015. So we couldn't get, we couldn't be.
So it's vindictive as well then?
Very vindictive, very vindictive. So, I mean, there is no, anyone against him, or if I put it this way, if you are not with him, you are against him. That's the theory.
What a great pity that so much of gilded prospects for Ranil Wickremesinghe. He's from the right background, education, and a solid, in our local English we'd call it a solid background and so on. And the prospects therefore would have been gilded for him.
Now for instance, you take Mr. J.R. Jayawardena. Mr. J.R. Jayawardena also came maybe from the same type of background, right? But he insulated himself with people like Mr. Premadasa, Mr. Gamili Sanayaka, Mr. Lalitha Tulat Mudali, Ananda Tissa Dialvis, E.L. Siranayaka, M.S. Samarasiri, Ronnie Dimel, top guys. Then Nelson, Mr. Adhikari, from all over the country. Bill Devanayagam from the Eastern Province, then the Bakir Markers, then from Putlam, the Abu Salis from Balangoda. So they were all the people around him, in their own districts, they were leaders.
Right.
They were people's people. Right?
It's sad that in the case of Mr. Wickremesinghe now...
So it's of choice now for us. Now, Mr. J.R. Jayawardena may have known his weaknesses coming from a elite background. Right? He knew if he's going to face the people of this country, he needs to insulate himself with people-friendly politicians. Right? Whereas Mr. Wickremesinghe consciously, when there was a proven or a road trekked before, and results obtained on that road, he, having seen it, having been a relative of the J.R. Jayawardena family, he chooses to go a completely different way.
So, it's so perverse that it's not true.
Now, for instance, I'll give you a few names. Whom does he take? He takes Malik Samaravikrama. He takes D.M. Swaminathan. I mean, the guys who are around him. Right. I don't think.
But these people do not reflect true democracy.
No, that is no. Forget about that. At least, are they realistic? Or do they know the feelings of the general masses of the country?
But people like Mr. Swaminathan and Malik Samaravikrama and so on, can't they get through to this man?
No, Mr. Swaminathan will dare not. But Mr. Malik Samaravikrama has influence over him. But that influence is used for the purpose of business matters, but not for political matters.
Well, that's how perverse it is.
That's how perverse it is.
And all this money they're spending now, clearly there must be a lot of money playing around at the moment. And then you need to know what happened at the central bank.
So it's very clear.
And what about this business about the Central Expressway? It's all just a cover-up. He gets one minister, they swap each other, and then he gives, I don't know, we have to phone Mr. Austin Fernando today and find out, but we're told that there is a move to give Mr. Kirialla the Central Expressway. It's not his grandfather's property. This belongs to the people of this country. And Mr. Wickremesinghe is looking askance. He's doing a Nelsonian here. And that's our point. He knows.
No, Faraz, now we will say foreign minister, when Ravi was appointed foreign minister, they gave the lotteries board under him.
Yeah.
So when a person does that, right, you can do anything else thereafter. You can do anything else thereafter.
It's a very poor encouragement for people, for the youth to join the UN.
When you say
your sons join them? Do you think
I don't think. I leave aside my sons because they are, since my political party.
By you.
Yeah, but even the new youth, I can't see. There is no reason for them to join the UNP. There is no reason.
Because the smart ones can see that there is no future.
No, there is no future. And the other thing is, for us now, for instance, okay, we have agitated, we have spoken very openly, right? And they have seen what has happened to people who speak up in the UNP. So when you put them out, when you harass them, when you penalize them, there is a message you are sending across the board, right? You come and you try to talk, you are not going to get your way. You have to come here and be like a doormat.
You have to be compliant.
Doormat, you have to just wait there and be happy with what you get, which we were not prepared to, we were not happy to do.
Right. Now then, I have to ask you this question because it's sent in by a viewer who's asking you for a yes or no. It says, ask Mr. Machiguratna, can PM survive no faith motion? Yes or no?
I feel he will. And if I can qualify that, because large amounts of money will be thrown, and because of money being thrown, in today's context, in today's parliament, I think you can survive any kind of catastrophe in parliament.
How sad are you? How sad are you?
I am very sad for us, because the country, right, and we have got another 18 months to go for another election.
Yeah.
Right, so there won't be governance.
Yeah.
Now, if you take, for instance, this cabinet reshuffle for the last 6 weeks, it has not come.
Right.
Right, and for the last 6 weeks, that is after 10th of February, basically there is no governance, because everyone wants the Prime Minister out.
Right.
Right, and now today there is a fight to get him out, and there is this no confidence motion. So everyone is living in hope that he is going to go out.
Yeah.
Right, so basically 2.5 months there hasn't been any governance.
Yeah.
Right, then the Kandy incident came out, and with the Kandy incident coming out, Sri Lanka again has got into in the bad books of the Western world.
Yeah.
And there are travel advisories which have been put against Sri Lanka. So what is it going to say about our tourism? What is it going to say about our investment? Now, Prime Minister has been calling for various investment forums.
Indeed.
Right? And what is the confidence you are going to give them? Right?
A wide perception among the leading membership that all key political, management, administrative and financial decisions are taken not by consultations but by an inner circle who often have personal agendas rather than the national and party.
So that's the very thing I said about
Yes, and that is from the Pandit Ratna report, and I will let you know where you can read these things online soon rather than later. Machiguratna, it's been a brilliant morning. Thank you very much.
Faraz.
And I'm so sad that your vision, your hopes have been dashed by Ranil Wickremesinghe.
No, Faraz, it has made me a harder person, and a person to fight with more perseverance, and that's why we have done this. And what I'm saying is, okay, Ranil Wickremesinghe can do whatever he wants to the UNP, but whoever who wants to march forward, they can join the United National Freedom Front, and we can march forward. And the day the UNP is in safe hands, we'll always can reconsider the prospect of joining and strengthening the grand old party.
That is good enough hope to live for.
Machiguratna,
thank you very much. And that's the way it was on Newsline today on Friday, the 23rd of March 2018. Take care. God bless.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz